Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the backstory. If you're new here, kindly hit that subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified when we post a new video. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the war between the judiciary and the executive is still ongoing. Remember last week, CJ Koome responded to William Ruto by telling him to produce evidence after William Ruto accused judicial officers of corruption. Now, today, William Ruto was in Elgeyo Marakwet, which is in Rift Valley. He was attending a church service, even though he did not respond directly to the Chief Justice. But the Kenya Kwanza administration used that opportunity to respond to Chief Justice Martha Koome and the Law Society of Kenya, which held a peaceful demonstration last week against the same accusations by President William Ruto. Now, today, the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua came up with another narrative, and he's told Martha Koome that on Thursday next week, they are going to the Supreme Court to lodge a complaint against a judge that he accuses of being corrupt, because this judge apparently handled a case that was touching on the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. Kindly listen in.
Chief Justice ametuambia tulalamike. Tungetaka kumuuliza her leadership, Chief Justice, aambie wa Kenya how many complaints have been filed against judicial officers, how many she has dealt with, and what is the timeline to conclude those petitions. It's important. Amechallenge sisi tutoe ushahidi. I will lead by example. On Thursday, this coming week, at 2:15, I'll personally present a petition before Lady Chief Justice Martha Koome against Justice Esther Maina for her removal from the judiciary for misconduct and corruption. Mimi mwenyewe ndio nitaongoza, because sasa unajua, sasa si ametuuliza, sasa tuko tayari. Mimi ndio nitaongoza kwa executive. Huyo judge through corruption declared my hard-earned wealth proceeds of crime without giving me an opportunity to be heard. Against the rules of evidence, where he who alleges must prove, we made an application to cross-examine the investigator, akakataa kwa sababu anajua there is no case, na evidence tuko nayo vile ilifanyika. So 2:15 on Thursday, my lawyers are preparing, mimi mwenyewe, because he has challenged us. I think now tufanye kazi sasa, si tufanye kazi pahali sasa tumefika, ni sawa, ni rais. You know, we were president when you came, you are very kind to the judiciary. And the way mheshimiwa hapa amesema Troitich, LSK, when President Uhuru through impunity refused to appoint judges, they never said anything. When DCI was carrying out extrajudicial killings in this country, they were quiet. When the leader of opposition said he'll mobilize 1 million people against the judiciary, they were absent. Sasa ndio wako pale. So wacha, na nauliza Wakenya wengine, wale wote wako na petitions against judges, those who may want to join me on Thursday, tupeleke pamoja pale Supreme Court, tuanze kupeleka, aanze kuprocess, na tueleze zile amepata ni ngapi, amefikisha wapi, because he has invited us. That is the forum tutatumia, ndio hii Kenya yetu iweze kutembea sawa sawa.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Rigathi Gachagua. Now, we want to look at why, or what are some of the reasons that might have led Rigathi to come up with this narrative. One is that Rigathi Gachagua could be acting on his own, because Rigathi Gachagua has been at loggerheads. Okay, we are told within the corridors of power that he has been at loggerheads with the president. And currently, the president prefers Ndindi Nyoro to Rigathi Gachagua. And there's that talk within the corridors of power. And if you look at Rigathi Gachagua's body language, he's been trying a lot not to be abrasive. He stopped attacking the former president Uhuru Kenyatta, and he's been trying to please William Ruto by not being controversial. He stopped talking about working together as Mount Kenya and trying to solidify Mount Kenya so that it becomes the kingpin, because this was the issue that was bringing a lot of conflict between the two of them. So Rigathi could be acting alone, whereby he's trying to get back to the good books of the president. So by coming up with this narrative, he's trying to tell the president silently that I'm with you in this fight against the judiciary. Now, the second issue here is that the Kenya Kwanza administration could be using this as a ploy to prosecute their case in a court of public opinion. Remember, the Chief Justice Martha Koome called upon the president to present the evidence that he has against these judicial officers. But where or which institution was he supposed to present this evidence? The only institution that receives any complaint against judicial officers, be it judges, be it court clerks and all that, is the JSC, Judicial Service Commission. But what Rigathi has talked about is going to meet Martha Koome, even though Martha Koome is the president of JSC. But if you look at the procedure of receiving complaints from the public that has been highlighted in the JSC website, they are talking of it's supposed to be kind of secretive. You can even write on your own. You can do it anonymously and take it to the Judicial Service Commission. You can even do it through mail, any complaint that you have, so that they look at the evidence, then see if there is a case to answer by the judge. Then the procedure of letting the judge go the process starts there after looking at the evidence. But Rigathi and the Kenya Kwanza administration has decided to prosecute this in a court of public opinion by identifying one judge who is not even sitting among the three judges who are going to look at the housing levy. Now, you'd want to ask yourself, why is Kenya Kwanza administration doing this in a court of public opinion? Because in the court of public opinion, they want to appeal to the emotions of Kenyans by telling them that we told you there are these judges. And remember, once this evidence has been presented to the JSC, JSC will look at the evidence, and if it doesn't meet the threshold, then JSC has the right to do away with that case. So by appealing to the emotions, it means that if they do not present evidence that meets the threshold, then they'll come back to the common man and tell them, you see, we told you that these judges were corrupt. We presented the evidence, but it has been thrown out. So maybe they don't have evidence that meets the threshold of sending this judge away. Because remember, judges, when they make their judgments, they look at the evidence that is presented to them against the law and against what has been prosecuted by the prosecutors. And they'll also look at the defense lawyers, what they have presented. So if you had a weak defense, judges will look at all this. However much you could be right, but if your defense is weak, the judge will look at your defense against the prosecution and the law. So whatever the Kenya Kwanza administration is trying to do here is to put pressure on the judges by telling them that we can do all this to you. Because remember, on 26th of this month, there is a ruling that is coming up on 26th. And the judge that has been narrowed down to is not sitting among the three judges. On 26th, there is a ruling for the housing levy, which is happening. So the Kenya Kwanza administration is trying to put a lot of pressure on the judges so that they can rule in their favor. So, ladies and gentlemen, those are the three issues that have come out significantly out of that talk by the deputy president. That one is trying to endear himself to the president because, according to Grapevine, they are not in good terms. The president right now, or president's handler right now, are pro Ndindi Nyoro. Then the second one is a ploy by the Kenya Kwanza administration to use this to prosecute their case in a court of public opinion, whereby they know very well that they do have evidence that can meet the threshold to prosecute this case. Then the third one that I've also talked about is the fact that Kenya Kwanza administration are also planning to use other means to frustrate the judiciary. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll keep monitoring all this that is happening within the judiciary, between the judiciary and the executive. And for more updates, keep it here. If you're still new here, kindly hit that subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified when we post a new video. Until next time, goodbye.